incident has been broadcast on a TV station, and apparently a police department was pretty certain that they have come across a ghost which was captured at their department.
Some police officers saw something that freaked them out, and they captured it on camera.
It's an image that some people say appears to be a ghost walking around the police station. Nancy Laughlin has the video and talked to the men who shot it.
It started out as a pretty typical Saturday night. Espanola police officer Carl Romero was on duty, keeping an eye on the surveillance cameras around the station, when he saw something in the sally port.
At first, I thought it was like a polilla, like a fly, a moth, and then I saw the legs and it was a human.
But not a real human.
No, it was just a ghost.
So Romero reported it and told his supervisors. Detectives showed us the camera that captured the image. They say there is no way in or out of the secured area without an open gate and alarm sounding.
You can see it walk through. It walks in the direction of the old transport cages, and there's not really any way for it to get out through there, but it seems to walk right through that.
Detectives say there's no logical explanation for this, not an issue with the lighting or a technical glitch. Turns out there are a lot of ghost stories around here.
A lot of our officers have seen certain things. Some of our officers have felt what appears to be somebody breathing down their neck as they're working on reports in the briefing room.
Cops at the station also report hearing strange noises in the middle of the night and seeing unexplainable images in the lobby area too.
Espanola police tell us as far as they know, this is not an ancient burial ground, and they say the police station has been here since 2006, but no inmates have died here.
But they do say there have been some unsolved murders nearby.
Do you believe in ghosts?
I do, actually. I do believe in ghosts.
Do you think that was a ghost?
I do. I do believe it was something. It's hard to say, but I do believe it was a ghost.
These guys say they're not afraid of it, but it's definitely an image that haunts the officers who work here.
So what do we say? Is it just one of those infamous camera glitches that get recorded ever so often? Or a spider web? Or are we talking about something paranormal indeed? This video was uploaded by contractor IrishBlood101, who states that he had a job at a recently closed care center. He was tasked to find a leak in the building, but it turns out that he was in for a pretty nightmarish experience.
Alright, I'm working in an old urgent care that just got shut down. It got shut down before the freeze here in Texas. I'm not sure why it closed down, but it's pretty spooky. I'm supposed to be looking for a leak in here. This bathroom, creepy hallway. Real spooky place. Another bathroom. This is a second two-story building. This used to be the elevator shaft right here. I guess we're taking the stairs. I guess meditation class used to be upstairs. Had to put your shoes in this little cubby. After some further investigation, there's no one else in this building. I've heard someone go down those stairs, though. So, I guess this was the meditation room. There's a lot of natural lighting in here. Probably don't need the flashlight right now. Here's the top of the elevator shaft. You can't see anything down there. So, here's the meditation room. Kind of looks like the back rooms. It looks very culty. There's a stage up here. It looks like a couple of altars next to them. Creepy. Okay, now I'm getting the here. That was it.
Not only did he capture a disembodied voice,
another bathroom.
Without noticing, but he also captured some inexplicable noises that spooked him pretty bad at the time. Do you think this could be of paranormal nature? He states that he had sinister nightmares after that afternoon, and I can't blame him. This recording stemmed from a security guard who just started at a new job site, and he captured something so creepy that he apparently quit shortly after this shift. A strange shadow can be seen, and it even gets more unsettling once the guard turns on the lights. He states that this was certainly something demonic. Would you agree? This video was recorded by a CCTV camera of an older apartment building. It is mounted to the ceiling of the 13th floor, and many tenants have stated that they have heard quite a lot of eerie noises at night on there. Items have been moved around, and one tenant in particular swears that he saw a little kid running across the dimly lit hallway around midnight, only to disappear into the closed door to the staircase. Strange to say the least. In this particular clip, we can apparently become witness to some of these mysterious events. Take a good look. After a few minutes of inexplicable activity, we can see a pair of legs appear, seemingly walking slowly towards the camera. This apparently freaked the superintendent out quite a bit, and who can blame him? And only a few minutes later, this happened. It was clear that the building was dealing with something really creepy here. What exactly it was? Impossible to say, of course. Seems like the tenants of this building will have to keep those doors locked overnight, for sure though. This video was captured by the security system of a supposedly haunted bar in the United States. The exact location or name is unknown, unfortunately. However, there's countless tales about a restless spirit who once was a customer to this establishment. After his passing, he still seems to be visiting his old waterhole, moving chairs around and spooking guests with eerie whispers from beyond the nether. Tonight, the security guard noticed some really strange orbs at first, and then took a closer look at the cameras. The man is certain that he caught the face of a spirit here, showing itself willingly on camera, before turning into thin air again. Could this be so? Is this a face indeed that got caught on camera this night? It's creepy for sure. And I don't know what else this could be. Maybe a reflection from outside? Who can say? Frank sent the following clip, and he stated that it was recorded by an urban explorer in Asia, who was following a local urban legend that a kuntilanak was seen around a house close to his neighborhood. It appears that this man is following some odd noises to the upper level of a house he's exploring. Eventually he makes it upstairs and continues his documentation about the unknown. This floor is holding a door, which piques our investigator's attention, so he opens it, and of course we don't see anything. But moments later, he records the following. Was it a woman walking up the stairs? The man gets nervous, and we can see several orbs passing by his camera. He waits the situation out and then goes for another peek. Looks like a crazy person. These are the last moments of the camera recording, which now seems to be situated on the floor. Following video was captured by CCTV camera inside the entrance area of a police station, and based on several officers, they state to have seen some mist-like apparitions outside the glass door for several minutes before the following unfolded.
Cik dengan apa je? Cik dengan apa? Selamat.
It was impossible for this to have been caused by a wind breeze, and some of them are pretty certain that something from another realm has opened that door. Could it be that an actual ghost was ripping open the door of the police station? Or how else can we explain this? Now we want to take a look at the case of Ashley Kettering, a young single mother who is living with her 5-year-old in a nice house. She states that recently the security cameras have captured some concerning events especially on the lower floors of her house, and even the basement. It all started after acquiring an ancient clock that the young mother had refurbished.
Refurbished this clock. It is a real antique. It works, excuse me, but my kids say that the chime is really creepy, so they never want me to turn it on.
This night, something semi-transparent seemed to make its way up the stairs towards the living area, and Ashley was pretty concerned, because she and her kid were already in bed at the time, and nobody else was at the residence. A few nights after, she shared this video. As the family went to bed this night, this eerie thing was seen at the bottom of the stairs to their basement. Ashley was certain that something demonic might have made its way into her home, perhaps attached to the old antique clock. This night, it appears that a strange shape was captured down in the basement. Some think that this thing might have even worn a rope. It is without a doubt, though, that something otherworldly was going on here, which is why Ashley stated that they got rid of the clock shortly after discovering this thing on video. How nightmarish. The Denver State Hospital closed down in 1992, but when it was opened, about 3,000 people with serious mental problems stayed there. The staff treated them badly, and nurses who used to work there still remember seeing really scary things, like patients walking around in their own mess because they weren't taken care of properly. One night in 2000, a security guard who was supposed to keep an eye on the old building recorded something weird while checking out the basement. It's a bit hard to see, but in the video, the guard moves the camera to a room in the basement. You can see a dark figure moving slowly inside. The guard didn't notice it at the time, but later, when he watched the recording again, he got really scared. In the footage, there's a shadowy figure. Remember, the basement is off limits, so no one else should have been there. People watching the video think it might be something supernatural, like a ghost. But the big question is, what exactly did the camera capture? Whether it's a ghost or not, we still don't know. The following videos have been shared by Jessica Cartanis, who for the most part is uploading videos with her babies. They perform funny dances together or share entertaining family moments with their viewer base. However, one day, when recording a silly little baby dance, they noticed that there seemed something off in the background. While Jessica is dancing with her daughter, there's some strange movement going on underneath the bed frame in one of the rooms in the back. She stated that her husband and dogs were out of the house at the time. So, what could this have been? Shortly after this was captured, the family also noticed some really strange noises that were stemming from the attic. Some nights it got pretty loud, so Jessica decided to hold her phone up there. Do you think she could capture something otherworldly? Or could this perhaps just be the eyes of a wild animal that made it into her home? To this day, it's not exactly clear what happened. The next video was sent by Eric, and he tells me that it was noticed by a couple of security guards that were working and surveilling an old museum located on Piazza Square in Georgia. There seemed to be something really odd appearing out of thin air. As we see, this floating shape suddenly comes around the corner, throws a shadow, and is then disappearing towards the lower part of the camera. Some people speculate that this merely might have been a bug, but how is it possible that we can follow its shadow on the floor? Quite strange. It's like this shape is floating quite fast, leaning into the curve a little before it disappears. I have no idea what's going on, to be honest, but do believe that it is more than just a weird bug. Your thoughts? The following video was uploaded to the paranormal Reddit section by user Phantom881999. He states that his dad had shared a video with him that he and the rest of the family found quite creepy. It was captured outside of his dad's workplace. The little workshop his dad is working at is located at a tiny walkway which leads through a forest area. They have heard a lot of weird noises during the years, but always thought of these as just being caused by wildlife. Today they saw something they couldn't quite explain. Of course, they thought at first that they were seeing two regular people walking on the pathway, since it's proven that sometimes CCTV cameras can cause really strange artifacts in low-light conditions. However, the man swears that his colleague checked at the time and that no living soul was out in front of their shop. So, what could this have been? I couldn't answer that, to be honest. Hello guys, our first video was sent by Torben and it features a German explorer with the channel name Lost Place David. This night he ventures to an abandoned building into a local area with his friends to scout out the perimeter for anything interesting. Maybe he could even come across something thrilling. After arriving at the scene, they quickly inspect the area and make an entrance through one of the broken windows. David has lots of experience with abandoned and broken down places, and this night he hoped to maybe find some exciting relics from the past. Besides trash, old equipment and even furniture, it doesn't seem to be a lot to write home about though. But we need to look a bit closer in this case. When David enters the building and is handed the camera, there seems to be something standing in the doorway. Could David capture a figure? Maybe it's just a camera artifact. What's your thought? Perhaps some more things got captured that went unnoticed that night. Guess we have to find out in the future. The following is an unsettling case that was documented by user Chloe Hart. She recently moved into a new home with her family, and as we have learned, sometimes these houses inherit some ghosts from the past. Chloe was initially doing iconography for her profile, and then captured something strange on her staircase, and she swears that it was none of her pets. However, before we take a look at that, Chloe states that weird things are happening in this house all the time, like here for example. Strange, right? Let's take a look at her clip now. Something is coming down the stairs, but when Chloe was home alone that day, what was it? I couldn't say if it looked like an animal though. Some people think it did.
Everyone's asking me if it's a dog, so I'm going to show you my dogs. There's one, there's two, this is the stairs, this is a stairgate, the dogs can't go up there.
What do you think happened here? Was it just a family member that was home and Chloe didn't know? Or a paranormal event? TikTok user Lauren Rose 867 started filming one night when she felt that her cat was acting pretty unusual. She was a bit estranged and in the end kept staring against the ceiling, as if the animal felt something, or maybe even seeing. While this was taking place, another strange occurrence unfolded, for which Lauren had no explanation for at the time.
That's scary.
Have you seen that? What on earth is floating by behind the couch there? Lauren appears to have captured a shadow apparition, which is creepy on its own, but was it also responsible for all the noises? And even catching her cat's attention? Maybe it was just the beginning of something that will keep unfolding in the future. Viewers have pointed out that it might be a family member, but I feel the floating nature to this thing almost rules out a natural person just walking by. What is your opinion? Drew has shared the following recording in which he tells us that he heard some really odd noises stemming from his basement and that he was so afraid that he decided to investigate.
Let's see if I can get anything on video. Nobody's been down here all day.
The second the man turns, a weird-looking shadow is being captured, and he doesn't even notice it, even though he thinks to have seen something, and then proceeds to walk back upstairs. Did this thing maybe tamper with the play toys? This video was shared by Caxlan01, who tells us that after moving into what he describes as one of the most haunted houses he ever experienced, things started to fall apart rather quickly. The man shared lots of poltergeist encounters with his viewers, but at a certain point he was sure that the spirit of a little child liked to manifest ever so often to scare him even more. The reasons are unknown. This was one of the latest recordings that he shared with his viewers. Is it possible that we are actually seeing the spirit here? It almost looks a bit too perfect in my opinion, and makes me think of the works of a similar channel. But who knows? I wasn't there after all. The next video is called Humanoid Creature Caught on Camera Under the Bridge, and it was shared by channel All About West Coast. Never heard of that. Oh! Is that a creature? Look here. Oh yeah, that does look weird. Does it have fur? But let's blow that up a little bit. Another team of ghost hunters investigating an abandoned hospital in Mexico. Suddenly, out of nowhere, something is peeking out of the dark. This is another cave recording, which was captured on a trip that a group of friends undertook many years ago. Local legends are speaking of strange specters and apparitions that can be seen in there, but unfortunately the group was unlucky. At least that's what they thought at first. After analyzing the footage, they noticed that there was an eerie figure. Some do claim to see a woman in a dress, possibly a spirit from another time. Does this sound plausible? Of course, the bad quality due to the age of the footage doesn't really help answering that question for us. But it does make one wonder, did nobody notice that thing at the time? Really creepy. Tommy has sent me the next video, and it features a young boy who is fooling around in the living room of his family. Apparently, he only wanted to record a video for his friends, but something else was captured as well. Is this the spirit of a relative? Maybe just a person who was in the house at the time. Was the boy trying to mislead us here? Or does something more mysterious lie behind this video? This short video stems from an investigation from urban explorer Tayangan, who was out with a friend the following night to investigate a supposedly haunted and currently abandoned hospital. Many people have spoken of former patients that can be seen roaming the empty hallways, and what sparked the further exploration of this particular hallway was the sighting of a headless person that they only got on camera for a few seconds.
Koyo nek iki anu lho, iki ruangan khusus ruangan kene koyo kancing HP lho. Kancing HP. Wis kondi denen, ora ono.
It does look like a regular, perhaps younger person, but their head is completely gone. And the two men state that they found no trace of anybody else in there after scouting out the floor intensively. So, what exactly was unfolding here that night, in your opinion? The next video is quite strange and was recorded by a young woman in Querétaro, which is home to a quite famous dam in the area called the Centenario de Tequiscuapa Dam. Several accidents had occurred there over the years, from people gone missing and even remains that were being found in there. Prior to the next video we want to take a look at, The Dark Dimension had featured a mysterious user submission which showed another inexplicable incident in the waters of that dam. A man had recorded a glowing person standing in the waters. Strange for sure, but now we're taking a look at the video from the young woman, who also visited the dam with a couple of friends one night, and they saw something similar. Keep in mind, the waters of the dam are incredibly deep, so it is impossible for any human to stand in there.
Sí, ya se metió hasta fondo, hasta la va casi hasta la mitad.
Es que no sale aquí. Vean esto.
Ok, gracias.
Ay, ya lo vi. Es ese, ¿no? Señor, véngase.
Véngase.
Camine, siga la luz para acá.
No, hágase, estoy para acá.
Véngase para acá. ¿Sí viene?
Sí.
Véngase para acá.
No, vaya a jalar y no.
Venga. Señor, venga para acá.
Traiga con la mano. Háganse para acá. Tráigalo. Tráigalo una mano.
Güey, que trae una pistola.
Oye, tráigale una mano. Vámonos.
How is this possible? How could anybody be illuminated like that and walk through extremely deep waters unbothered? To many, it's without a doubt that we are seeing a real ghost sighting here, and I have to say, I do agree. The following was captured by the security camera of a laundromat store. The owner uploaded the video as proof, because many people swore that the building was extremely haunted. Creepy sightings were nothing rare, apparently. However, the owner could never capture evidence on his camera until this night. After closing the store up for the night, the man left and the security camera kept rolling. The footage got randomly pulled one day, and they saw something on it that looked quite creepy. It looks like a woman with dark hair that is standing next to the laundry machine in the right top corner of the room. How terrifying. What's even more creepy, however, is how she mysteriously seems to appear in the room, and then only moments after disappears again. Of course, there are reflections from the street outside that can be seen in the store, but many are certain that this is not what we are seeing here. So, is this a spirit haunting the man's store,